Hi ladies, Manisha here, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some shimmery succulent nail art. These are all the products I'll be using. I've got discount code for KADS as well as Born Pretty store, so I will leave those links for you down below. And the Born Pretty store I've got 20% off, which you can just see on the bottom of the screen, and the KADS I've got a 10% off, which will take you through to their new website that they've got. So I'm going to be using that beautiful sort of iridescent flaky polish, so it actually dries matte. And I've also got these 4 shimmery polishes. Now these did arrive to me in the mail. I purchased these myself, and there was actually one other, but it was very similar, so I've kind of swapped it out for that purple one. I thought these 4 would give a little bit more of a contrast, but they're all absolutely stunning. They've got tiny little hollows in them, and yeah, they just look really pretty when the light catches them. A couple of them do sort of shimmer, and they're a little bit chameleon, and they really pick up nicely on the light, so I thought they'd be quite nice to use together. So I've pulled out a few stampers here. I've got a couple from Moyou London, also one from Moyra. I don't remember if I actually used that one in the video, but anyway, I just shared that there with you. And I've also got this bundle monster, which is also known as Maniology these days, and I've got that succulent plate there. It's really cool. So you do need to peel off the blue film before using. If you're new to stamping, you do need to remove that before you start. That's purely put there just to protect the actual stamping plate. Now check out the detailing on that plate, it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to use that KADS green, sort of smoky green colour, to pick up the succulent images there. So that's the first one I'll be using there. Now I did want to do this as sort of like a negative space mani, so I'm not going to be using these image on sort of on my whole nail, so that's the reason I'm only picking up sort of the top ends of them. So I'm going to continue to pick up one, image from each of these 4 images. And this one here, I really liked how it was stamped sort of at the top and the bottom. And I nearly removed it, and then I thought, well, you know what, I can actually probably use both of those images on my nails. And then last but not least, here's the 4th image I'm going to be picking up. So I thought it's easier just to grab all the images at the same time and then do some reverse stamping. So this is the technique I'll be doing here today. And reverse stamping is basically when you colour in your nail art from the back of the image. So it's done from the reverse side, and then you actually flip it over, and then that's the part of it that you see is the reverse of what you're colouring in. So I'm going to start off with that pink polish. Now I am doing this in real time, but there will be parts of the video where I've just kind of edited it and taken chunks of it out, because it actually ended up being very long, and I do have a restriction on videos. I can't seem to upload them that are longer than 15 minutes, and I don't know why. It's really weird, but anyway, I did take out quite a few parts of this video. But if you need any further clarification as to what I'm doing here, just drop me a little question down below, and I'll be more than happy to help you. But basically all I've got is it's actually a striper brush, but you can use a fine detail brush. Anything that's going to give you more control with your colouring in, so to speak. Just using that to apply these polishes to the different succulents. And I really liked how this actually turned out. It was very satisfying to do. It is a slow process. I admit, if you've got sort of less detailed images, it won't take you as long to colour them in. But it did take me a little while to get there in the end. So this is my first one finished here, so I'm going to pop that aside to dry, move on to the others, and then this is all 4 of them finished, so going to take a little bit of time to dry. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is apply a couple of coats of this beautiful polish. So it has actually got a clear base, but it is tinted with sort of like a turquoisey colour, which I didn't actually really care for much at the end, but I just really like the flakies. But paired with the polishes, the colours that I've used in the rest of the design, it actually worked out really well in the end, so I didn't really mind it too much. But I think I would prefer to use a polish like this, but with a clear base, like with no colour in it at all. But anyway, you'll see the end design at the end of it, and I really did enjoy how it turned out. So that's the first coat gone on there. As you can see, it has dried to a matte finish. And as you can see from the actual polish bottle itself, it did have sort of like a matte frosted sort of look. That gives you a little bit of an indication as to what the finish is going to be like with this polish. Don't forget, I have got that 20% off discount code, and you can use that Born Pretty store site-wide, whether it's reduced items or full priced items. Now these have had a good 15-20 minutes to dry. What I'm doing here is just adding a little bit of a clear top coat, so this one just happens to be an OPI one. I just advise not to use a fast drying one, so I don't tend to use things like Seche, Vite or Posh, because they can dry quite sort of crisp, and what can happen is your decal can end up cracking on you. But as you can see here, this is still really pliable, and you're able to actually pick it off the stamper and maneuver it around quite easily. So that's the first one there, and then these are all the rest of them here. I've got them all ready, and what I'm going to be doing is cutting them down to size. So here's a little bit of detail as to what this one here looks like. It's always fun turning over the image and revealing what it actually looks like, because you spend all that time making it up, and when you've done it on a solid stamper like I have here, it's always a little bit of a surprise to see what the finished image looked like, and I really did like how these ones turned out. So what I'm doing here, and I'm sorry I'm just about off camera, I was sort of really concentrating on what I was doing, is I'm trying to get the right width for my nail. Now because the base polish has dried, what I'm doing is using that same OPI Top Coat, and I'm just using it as kind of like a bit of a wet glue. As you can see, I've sort of put it on part of the image and lifted the other part up and just sort of applied it underneath that, and that just allows the decal to stick to your nail. I'm going to trim off any excess that there is with a pair of snips, but cuticle nippers are really great too for sort of getting in close to the nail. Once you've got it in position, you're happy with it, just use a little bit of nail polish remover with a clean up brush and just go around the edges, and that will further help it stick down. Now once I've done all the nails, I'm just going to go ahead and add a coat of Seche Vite, so this will bring it all back to life again, as in like it laid a really glossy finish to it. This also acts double duty, so it will add a nice glossy finish, but it also helps dry through all those layers of polish. You know, because the decal has got all those layers of polish underneath, so it just sort of further you know, help those dry. Now I did not stop at the glossy stage, but you can totally leave it at the glossy stage, and this is what it will look like. But I decided to add a matte top coat because I really liked how those flakies looked with a matte finish. So this is the matte top coat I'm using here today. It's just from Wet n Wild, but you can use your favourite matte top coat over the top of this. And then this is what the finished design looked like. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. If you did, I'd love a lovely thumbs up. You can leave any comments, questions down below. And if you haven't done so already, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is free to do so, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.